Welcome to Wednesday. Today we are doing Christmas stories. The first one brought back some memories. Um, Hi, Marianne. In March of 1972, you came out to my house. You were pregnant. And I was. I had my daughter in April. So it was the following month. My wife died December 10th, 1971, from cancer. When I called you and you explained the inside of our house and told me what the lady ghost that was in my house looked like, and there was no doubt in my mind that it was my dead wife. Let me start at the beginning. Our three girls were 3, 5, and 7 years old when she died. They were everything to her. My wife Meg was the best mom, and Christmas was her favorite holiday, probably because it was also her birthday. Every year, starting in January, she started Christmas shopping while the tree was still up, but she did her shopping for the following year. She shopped all year long for Christmas. She would find perfect gifts for everybody. She would wrap them, and then had a secret hiding. She had a secret hiding place, which I later found out were places. When we got her diagnosed in April of 71, it was already stage 4. We got her in some trials with hope. She felt really good at Thanksgiving. We were so sure she would still be around for Christmas. We put the tree up the day after Thanksgiving. The girls were so excited. Meg and I talked to the 5 and 7-year-olds about Mom being sick. I think at the time the 7-year-old pretty much understood, not the 5-year-old, and we didn't even say anything to the 3-year-old. Meg and I got to do some shopping for Christmas presents. I really thought we were done, but she could always find one more. Around the 8th of December, Meg got really sick. She made me promise if she couldn't be here for Christmas, please make it a good day for the girls. She died on the 10th of December. When I started going through her desk, I found letters she had written to family and friends and me. And she wrote a letter to each child to be read when they were around 18 years old, which I did do. How she knew what to say to them that would make any sense 9 or 10 years later was amazing to me. The Christmas day in 1971 was sad but happy. The girls were very happy what Santa got them. We talked about Mom having Christmas in heaven and watching over us. Right after New Year's, my 7-year-old said, Mom told me before she died that I would be so happy about some books she got me, but she wouldn't tell me what they were. It was going to be a surprise for me on Christmas. But Dad, there were no books in my presents. I listened. I really thought I had found all the wrapped, tagged, and ribbon gifts. I felt bad, but I didn't know where else to look. A couple of nights later, I heard something being dragged across the attic floor. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I got out of bed and pulled the ladder down. It's in the upstairs hallway to get to the attic. It's in between all the bedrooms. I went up a few steps, turned on a flashlight, but I didn't see anything or anybody. 2 days later, I was down the basement and I heard a kitchen chair sound like it was pushed away from the table. I was home alone. I was downstairs doing laundry. I went upstairs and the chair, which was Meg's, was almost in the middle of the kitchen. I felt like I was losing my mind. A day or so later, my 5-year-old says, Daddy, I think I saw Mommy in the hall last night when I went potty. The 7-year-old asked her sister, "How did Mom look?" The 5-year-old said, "Pretty. She had all her hair again." The 7-year-old told her, "If you see Mom again, will you please, please, please wake me up?" I just sat there when they both looked at me for an answer. I said, "She's just checking on us, making sure that we're okay." What was I supposed to say? When Meg was alive and well, she took care of paying the bills, mortgage, utility, insurance, etc., all of the bills. When she got too sick, I started doing it. In February, I had a stack of mail to go through. I put all the bills together. I paid them after I had supper done and got the girls down for the night. I went back to my desk around 10 p.m. The bills were gone. I looked everywhere. They had not fallen. They weren't in the trash can. They weren't in any of the drawers. Then I looked for the checkbook. It was also gone. This made no sense to me. The girls never went into my office, let alone touch any of my stuff on the desk. I went to bed, didn't sleep well, worrying about what was going on in the house. When I got up, I went to the front door to get the newspaper. It was about 6:30 in the morning. As soon as I opened the door, the security alarm started ringing like crazy. I was so shook up, I couldn't even remember the code to turn it off. Meg was the one who always made sure the alarm was set, especially at night. The security people had to give me my code. I hadn't set it since Meg died. I was telling my mom about all of this when the girls were not around, and I said, and that's when my mother said to me that I call you. I said, "No way, that's crazy." When I went home, something made me go to Meg's desk. In the drawer in her desk were all the bills and the checkbook. That did it. I called you and you came out the middle of March of 1972. You did not want the girls home when you came. You said they were too young. My mom came over. It was just Mom, you, and me, and Meg. Yes, Meg was there. Meg was trying to get my attention. She still had Christmas gifts hidden that she wanted everybody to have. I don't remember the doll's name, but she talked. That was the 3-year-old's present. The 5-year-old had paint-by-number pictures to paint. The 7-year-old had a complete set of the Bobbsey twins, the books. She was so excited. She even got me a new wallet. I thought I had looked everywhere, but when I went to get the gifts after she told us where they were, I couldn't believe it. They were almost in plain sight. Meg laughed and said I looked too hard. Meg stayed for the last Christmas with the girls. She had unfinished business. She wanted to make sure that the gifts were given to the girls. She wanted to go to the light. She saw her grandma in the light, and she wanted to go to her. She asked you if she could come back next Christmas. You told her any holiday, birthday, any event, anytime she wanted to. And you told her to come in everyone's dreams. Mary Ann is almost 50 years. The girls are married and have kids of their own. They have had dreams of their mom for years. You were so right about that. They actually asked their mom questions and got answers during their teen years, which was absolutely amazing to me. I actually got remarried, but the dream stuff works. I waited till Meg came in a dream and asked her if it was okay to get remarried. She laughed and said, I should have done it years ago. The girls know all of this now. They believe. Their husbands, not so much. But we know she still enjoys her Christmas with us. I do remember this, and there's a couple things that are going to sound contrary to what I've said all these years. Cancer patients usually do cross over. But She was diagnosed and died so quick, and she was young. The kids were young, and she was worried about them. So that would have been a reason why she would have stuck around. So that was, like I said, once I started reading the letter, I did remember it. Okay, this letter is asking a question. Mary Ann, I have 4 children, 2 sets of twins, 6-year-old boys, 4-year-old girls. My twins are not identical, but if a picture is taken of them, the 4 look related but not twins. Here's what's going on. Last Christmas, I have 6 siblings. My kids are the only children in the family. So you can imagine the generous grandparents and aunts and uncles. The gifts started coming in about 2 weeks before Christmas. Our Christmas tree was up and decorated by the 6th or the 7th of December. By the 12th or by the 15th, out-of-town Christmas gifts started arriving. My husband got a job transfer out of state, and that's why all the presents were mailed early. No family here, and COVID was keeping everyone home. I was embarrassed when a neighbor came over and saw all the presents. She said, "Wow, looks like Santa came early here." One of my boys said, "No, Santa, excuse me, no, Santa hasn't come yet, so we will be getting a lot more." I just looked at him. This kid is a brat, and he's mine. That's when I decided to get all 4 kids together. I got big garbage bags, and we went through the bedrooms, the playroom, the basement, the garage, and filled up 7 huge garbage bags of still good used toys. Books, games, boys' toys, girls' toys. It was for kids who were not as lucky as them. That's what I told them, and that's where all these toys were going. There was some grumbling, and the rule was, okay, you can keep your old toy if that's the one you really want, but go to the Christmas tree and get one of your new presents and put it in the garbage bag. Your choice, one or the other. The next day, the kids came with me to the city center where they were collecting new and used toys for kids for Christmas. The center also had an after-school and daycare for lower-income families. Seeing all of the kids that were in care made my kids really quiet, especially the boys. One of my girls, excuse me, one of the girls asked the lady who was talking to me, "When will these kids go home today to see their moms and dads?" She told my daughter, "Well, not all the kids have both a mom and a dad, and some would be going home. The others would go to a shelter because they didn't have a home of their own." I really felt it was a reality check for them. The boys seemed to understand more than the girls, but then they were a couple years older. The next few days the kids were a little subdued, but Christmas was just 6 days away. The next morning I went into the family room about 6:30 a.m., my usual wake-up time, and there were 2 Christmas gifts open, paper everywhere. It was clothes for one of the boys. I got all 4 kids into the family room and asked which one or 2 of you did this. My husband told them, "Tell us which one or you'll all be sent to your rooms." All 4 said, "Not me." The kids do not know, but we have cameras in their bedrooms. My husband and I went into the office and watched and listened to what they were saying. First they blamed each other, then the boys blamed the girls, then the girls blamed the boys. But the more we watched and listened, we really didn't think the kids did it. But what happened? We had no animals. Our dog died last year. The next morning, a string of lights were pulled off the tree. Again, I asked. Not me. The girls started crying. My husband rewound the tape on the cameras, and the kids never left their bedrooms all night long. So my husband decided to put one of the cameras in the family room facing the Christmas tree. My husband woke me up at 4 a.m. and said, "Wait till you see this." There was a little, maybe 4 foot tall, 2 feet wide fog mass, and it was moving. It was going around the tree, taking off the garland of popcorn and cranberries. We went to the family room. I can only say the room felt sad to me. My husband said I was crazy. That night after supper, when the girls came in the kitchen and said someone wrote on the window, that was a no-no in the house, and they knew it. Anytime any windows were steamed in the house, in the car, they were not allowed to make pictures, put their name on it, ever. And so they knew that somebody had done that and shouldn't have. From cooking, the windows were steamed up. I went into the family room and could see the name Jimmy. And of course, that's nobody's name in this house. We left the camera on the tree the next morning. On the window that had said Jimmy was a 7 written on the glass with a crayon. And believe me, we have crayons everywhere in this house. There was a picture of a crude fireplace with a fire in it, but it also looked like there were flames on the walls. You could tell a young child drew this picture. We watched this 4 foot by 2 foot fog write this 7 and draw the fireplace and the fire, and then the fog disappeared. All we could figure out since we took the trip to the city center, this has been happening. I had an idea. I called the lady at the center who was in charge. I gave her the highlights of what was going on. She got real quiet. She said about 5 years ago, a family that is now homeless had a house and there was a fireplace fire, and their son Jimmy, who was 7, died in the fire. The fire destroyed everything. The car that was in the attached garage, everything was gone except his mother and his 2 sisters. Jimmy and his father had died. His father had gone back into the house to try to save Jimmy, and he died also. She said almost every Christmas since Jimmy died, his spirit has shown up in houses where there are boys about his age. And she said, "I bet you do not have a fireplace." I said, "You're right, we do not have a fireplace." She said, "Jimmy has never gone to a house where there's a fireplace. I think he's just scared of them." She said, "Don't worry, he'll be gone after Christmas, and as far as I know, he only comes to a house once." Mary Ann, could this be true? Well, yes, it could. And I think this lady actually from the center had a good handle on it. You know, Jimmy saw your 6-year-old twins and thought, this is cool, I'm going to go home with them. And, you know, a 7-year-old probably frustrated that he's dead and he can't do anything, started taking it out on the tree. So, yep, and I'd be very surprised if this happens again. This lady probably knows what she's talking about. Okay, we are done for today. We have one more next week. We may do Christmas and New Year's next week. I have some letters coming in about New Year's Eve. And we'll wrap it up. Have a really Merry Christmas this Saturday. Enjoy your family. Be safe. And we'll talk next week. Thank you.